Are you seeking guidance on your spiritual journey? Need help with a vexing problem? Missing a loved one and looking for answers? Look no further than Psychic Insights, a small trusted psychic service offering mediums, psychics, and spiritual coaching. This service is managed by Hollis Taylor, a gifted psychic medium, astrologer, and a compassionate coach. We are dedicated to helping you navigate your spiritual awakening. At Psychic Insights, we provide medium readings and psychic insight to help you plan for tomorrow and make choices for today. Find the support you need, compassionate grief coaching, and astrological insights to help you spiritually grow and transform. Our professional services include well-managed schedules, recorded sessions, and reliable psychic mediums ready to facilitate your transformational experience. Discover more at psychicinsights.life.
Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Thank you for standing by. I'm not
Hey,
sure
everyone.
right. I don't think I have right. I am so sorry. I had some major technical difficulties. I figured out I just opened us in the wrong live.
Nothing wrong with that.
So welcome everyone. Hollis is out this evening. They had some doctor's appointments and things they had to take care of today. So I'd like to welcome everybody. Hello, Sue. Good evening. Wherever you are in your neck of the woods, it's evening here. What time is it where you're at, Sarah?
7:16 p.m.
See, and it's daytime there, though. The sun's still up, right? Is the sun still up?
Yep. Sun, well, it's gloomy, but it's usually, it'll be up until about 9. And then later on in the summer, it'll be up till midnight.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yes. Hello, Jessica.
Hello, Jessica.
And Carolina's here.
Hello.
We have a lot of people here. We have Laura Piel.
Hello, Laura. Hello, Maggie.
Tracy.
Hi, Tracy. Carla. Hello, Samantha.
For guides and angels came through, that would be amazing. Yes, it would.
Hello, Emily Shelton.
Emily.
And Beth.
We have a lot of people here today.
Michelle Brown. Lisa. Hello. And Eva. Hello, Eva.
Maggie. So thank you so much. Yeah, hi. I'm just helping her. I'm doing the technical. I'm learning the technical for when Hollis and Bright Hawk go on vacation next month. I'm practicing.
I'm very honored to have you here as well. Hello, Vivian. And Jennifer.
So wonderful to see everybody here tonight. I hope everybody's had a great day. I took the day myself and just relaxed. I went out in nature today. I needed to recharge really bad. I'd had enough of people.
Right.
Like if you've just been around, like in the city and around a lot of people, there's times you just got to recharge your batteries. So that's what I did today.
I have to say, I've always tried to be humble and try to see other people's perspective, especially after my son passed. I try not to get quick to anger at someone else's actions because you honestly don't know what they're going through.
It's just the energies. I get overwhelmed with the energies, and I have to just go
Right. Just
decompress.
my oldest daughter's like that.
Yeah.
I noticed she it's like she picks up other people's energies or like what they're feeling, and then it seems to somehow like go into her mood. So we've been working
she's
on
very
that.
empathic then.
Yes.
Yeah, she's very empathic.
Uh,
Nita? Oh, it's morning where they're at. So they must be on the other side of the world. And we have Tracy here, and Sarah,
hello.
Laura, and Kay.
So Kay was just saying that she's hoping that her little brother comes through. Well, Kay, always ask your loved ones if they could step forward. I think that's the best way that we can do is just ask.
Yeah, here's another one too. Samantha, I have to call because I know how hard that is.
So Samantha says, strange intention to set, but I'd love to hear the animals that passed in a sad tragedy recently are doing okay on the other side as well.
Nothing strange here.
No, I don't think it's strange. And, you know, I've had a few animals come through. With me, I find that they'll like kind of show me things that they might have done with their person. Whether I have a golden retriever that in my last earlier lives, this golden retriever would just come waltzing in. I never seen it in my life before, but when I'd ask if anyone could recognize, I believe it was a male, that they couldn't. I don't really get actual messages like how when I talk to, say, Samantha, like your father, I don't get like that clear messages. It's more, I notice with animals, they'll show up and this golden retriever always like shows up with like a red ball in its mouth. And I think that that's kind of like his way of saying like, hey, it's me. What about you, Mama Cole? Do you actually get like hear messages from animals?
Yeah. Yeah, I have like I'm like an animal whisperer. I'm one that connects with animals and have since I was a little girl. Like I don't know how to explain it. But the only thing though is sometimes when my personal animals pass, I don't, and I have such a separation. Like I lost a pet right after my heart attack. Like I came home and she passed 2 days later after we tried to save her. Like we raised my friends, seriously, my community loved me so much after my heart attack. They raised like $1,800 to help me save my animal's life because she was my service dog. I was only 4, and she was special needs and deaf, and she never woke up from the surgery.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
So but please know, like my experience is that they don't suffer no matter like what, they don't suffer. Animals cross immediately and they will be there to greet you once you pass. And you had a Zoe, I had a Zoe too. There's another, Elisa says that her Zoe was her fur baby and she missed her a lot. Yeah, I lost like in the last, I think 2 years, I lost 4 animals, 2 service dogs. Like it was just crazy.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I know but for me. Oh, go ahead, hon.
I honestly think that I learned from Hollis, like, and I do believe it's true. They will come back to you repeatedly. They're like your soul guides. I honestly think some of our pets are like your soul guides, and they will come back to you in a different form, a different way. Sometimes right away, or sometimes, you know, just a little while longer, you know, a little down the path, or for your children, that they'll end up being one of your children's pets.
I believe that strongly. For me, even when I was a child, my spirit animals were ravens, crows. when I was little, I used to sit in our front yard and it had so much clover, and I would sit right in the middle with bumblebees. And I've always had this connection with them. When my son passed at his services, there was this huge raven that was tapping at the window. And then after, when we did the processional to the cemetery, that raven followed. And I noticed that it's landed in the tree close to where his resting spot is. And when I asked my son to send me a sign, and I asked for a raven, and I asked for it to call out 4 times. And I was sitting in my room and I heard like these big flapping of wings by my bedroom window. And I heard a raven call out once, and then I looked out my window and there's this huge raven, and it called out 3 more times and then flew away. So I thought it was really beautiful.
I absolutely love that for you. I love ravens. I have a big connection with ravens. I love ravens. And I believe, have you heard about ravens being like messengers between worlds and stuff? Like,
Yeah.
I totally believe that. I believe in that. And stuff. Look at how they look at the world, how they look at everything from above. And it's to give you a different perspective on life.
It's true. And, especially after my son passed, I
I
would give
love
offerings to the ravens, and I would tell them my prayers and my messages for him.
That's so beautiful.
So I guess we should probably start soon.
Yep, go ahead.
So I am going to be doing spirit-led readings, and that just means that whichever spirit has messages for me, they will come through, and I will give descriptions on how they look. I usually get their personality. Sometimes they'll show me a memory that you might be able to connect with. A lot of times I'll get music, and I just found out that can go either a song that they loved or something that you loved and shared with them. And then a lot of times they'll use like music that I listen to, and it's just the message is in the lyrics. So as I'm doing my readings, all I ask for you is to listen, and if anything resonates with you, so their description, please speak up. That way, then we can connect you with your loved one. I always like to start by telling my story and how I became into mediumship and on this journey. It's very important for me to explain this, so just bear with me. For those of you who have been supporting me in my mediumship journey, you guys are well versed in my story of how I got here. I also like to say, if you look at my link, it says Sarah Redcrow -2. And that -2 is very important, because when Hollis was trying to make my link, it would not work without that -2. And it was Hollis that was like, well, of course, because that's Jonah. And that is 100 trillion times correct, because it's not just me doing this. My son helps me. So my son Jonah was born in December 19th, 2000. At 30 weeks, I had preeclampsia, and my blood pressure is very high. The pregnancy itself, besides that, was perfect. I was 15, but as soon as I found out that I was pregnant, I wouldn't even take a cough drop because I was scared it would hurt him. So he came into the world at 4 pounds, 7 ounces, born at 30 weeks, and he was such a fighter. And when he was born, he sounded just like a little kitten. And I had to be careful because his lungs, if you let him cry too long, they would collapse. But he outgrew that. He came over many hurdles throughout his life. But unfortunately, on November 26, 2021, he had to face a battle that he couldn't overcome. Our family got COVID, and it was really, really hard. Myself, my spouse, and my son, we got the symptoms and then some. My two daughters, they were positive, but they didn't get the symptoms. And I can't praise enough how much my older daughter, his younger sister, took care of not only him, but her younger sister when I couldn't. And she did everything that a lot of 18-year-olds wouldn't at the time. My son was 20. She helped him to the washroom, helped feed him, helped change his bedding. And anyways, the day before, he was sitting up in his bed playing on his Wii U, and I remember coming to check on him, and I thought, oh good, finally he's getting better. And then later that night, because I was mostly bedbound myself, but I managed to get up and I wanted to check on him. And for those of you who are parents here, whether you be a mother or father, I'm sure we all did it when you would look at your newborn baby and like almost hold your breath just to make sure their chest is moving. That night, that's what I did. I stood by his open door because I was going to go say goodnight to him, and I noticed he's finally sleeping. And I found myself holding my breath, like really focusing on him. And then I saw, his chest moving up and down. So I thought, okay. I had this overwhelming urge to go lay down beside him. But I didn't, partially because I didn't want to disturb his rest. And partially, I was pretty sure he would have told me, Mom, what are you doing? Get out. We gave hugs, we cuddled, but his room was his sanctuary. And probably the idea of his mom crawling in bed with him would have been like, no, he liked his personal space. Anyways, the next day I slept in, and my daughter woke me and she said, Mom, you better come. And I'll never forget the look on his face, a struggle to breathe. Part of me thought I should call 911, but we were just a few blocks away from the hospital, and I thought I could get there faster driving, which I did. But it seemed like that drive was the longest drive of my life. I sang to him, for those of you who are familiar with the artist Buffy St. Marie. I sang to him Piney Wood Home. And I noticed how he just seemed to take everything in as he was looking out the window. He was so brave. We got to the hospital and his oxygen level was down to 30. His heart was 60/30. And they put the oxygen on him. They wouldn't let me go back and emerge with him because I was a day away from being out of quarantine. But they showed me to this little room. And I remember my son always loved wearing fedoras. So I took his fedora off his head. I kissed the back of his head and I told him, it's going to be okay. I'm right here. The last thing my son said to me was, can I take this off? It stinks. He meant the mask. He was really sensitive to smells. And I told him no. I told him I loved him. And his heart would stop 4 times before they got him to ICU. If it wasn't for the nurse, and by any chance, if you were watching, if I don't know her name, but I want to say a huge thank you because she advocated for me to come back to the hospital after I was sent home to be there in the ICU. And I watched as 7 nurses and the doctor that was taking his case fought for my son's life. I remember begging and crying, begging anyone who would listen. He passed away, and he passed away that night. I remember being able to go see him, and I told him that I loved him, that he's in there, and to come back to me. That night when we were home, it was me and my spouse and my daughters, and I remember looking down at the hallway and I noticed his bedroom door was left open, and I thought about closing it. And all of a sudden, his light was off. All of a sudden, I hear a click and the light turned on. I quickly looked to see like if anyone was, one of my girls or anyone was there, but no, we were all here in the living room. And then the light clicked, shut off, and then I said, Jonah, and it turned on again. And that was my first sign from my son that he was here. He had been gone for a few hours, but he came back and let me know. I was devastated. I thought I'd never be able to talk to him. And then I remember as a child, I was able to hear spirit. And I was lucky enough to grow up with very spiritual people and know about spirit world and that. So I decided to learn how to connect. And I did the meditations, I did the yoga. The yoga was after I met Hollis Taylor, and they suggested that. And I've been to other mediums, the medium fair here. And it was Hollis Taylor that when I had their discovery meeting, I asked them, I said, can I do this? And I was expecting, like I heard before, oh no, it's something you're born with, you're not. But the thing is, we are all born with the ability. It's just working on it and trusting in yourself. And that's what Hollis taught me, was to trust myself, trust what I'm receiving. And that's just what I did. And just along the steps of the way, I've got to meet many other mediums like Mama Cole, who is so supportive, and I'm here this helps me. I still get sad. I still cry for my son, but that's normal. I always tell everyone, never let anyone tell you how to grieve. There's the only time when I'll say, listen to them is if you're doing something that could harm yourself health-wise or otherwise, then please find that help. But otherwise, take your time, grieve your way. Okay. So I always like to start off with asking permission to work with your energy and that of your loved ones. Again, I just say, listen, and anything that resonates with you, whether it be just, eye color or just even what it seems small, just speak up. Okay. So Pamela Acker Pope says, hi, Sarah, your story is really remarkable. Shows how close you and your son were and still are. I have that with my son too. There's a special day coming up soon, and I'd love to. And Pamela, that bond that we share with our children is endless. And it doesn't matter if you carried your child in your womb or you got that child through either adoption or some other way, but that love, it's all about the love and that bond you share. It's endless and unbreakable. With that, let's start. And again, feel free, ask your loved ones to step forward. And don't be discouraged if they don't. A lot of times they might have been a private person in life and they still are. So just know that they're always around you. And let's begin. Oh, sorry, Cheryl, I can't hear you.
I just want to tell you really quick, you have a lot of support a lot of people just say how touching your story is. And just there's quite a few mothers in here also who have lost sons. So I just wanted to let you know as you begin that you do have tons of support and just so much love.
Thank you. Oh, and before I forget, I always like to show my son's picture because he plays a huge part in this. He helps guide your loved ones to our readings. So this is my son. His name's Jonah. In this picture, he was about, I want to say 17, 18 years old, but we were walking home and that butterfly just came and landed on his shoulder and stayed with him the whole walk home. And just a little FYI, he wasn't too pleased about it. My son didn't really like bugs, but I would manage to get that picture of him, and I love that picture. Oh, Tracy says, so handsome. Thank you, Tracy. Okay, let's get this going. I just ask permission from each and every one of you to work with your energies and that of your loved ones. I ask my son Jonah to please help guide your loved ones here. And I invite each and every one of your loved ones in spirit who has a message to be brave, step forward. This is a place of love and light. So I do have a young gentleman stepping forward. He's tall. I would put him maybe about between 5'10" and 5'12". He's skinny. His hair that he's showing me. So I see him wearing I guess like a beanie, or some people call it a beanie, or in Canada we call it a toque, but it's black. It around the rim, it has like the two, or one's a white line on top and one's like a lighter blue. From how his hair is poking out, it probably comes to about his cheekbones. It's darker in color, like a very dark brown. He has on kind of the more baggy pants. I see it being held up with a black leather belt. And on the front of the belt, it almost looks like the old style like seat belt clips. I've seen those style belts before where it looks like a seat belt click to fastener. He's wearing a black zip-up hoodie. And then I see underneath, it looks like almost like a navy blue shirt, and there's some lighter blue on it. He does have a nice jawline. I feel that his age that he's showing me, he looks to be, I'd maybe put him between 16 to possibly 19. When he smiles, he shows me he has braces. Would anybody be able to recognize this young man? I'm just going to ask him if he has anything else that he could show me that might indicate or help identify him. So he was showing me, because when he was kind of looking, it looked like he was like patting his pants, and then he reaches into his the hoodie pocket and he puts on some glasses. So they're almost like a gold wireframe glasses. I do get the feeling that he preferred not to wear them. So a lot of times he would try his best. He just like, he'd leave home because I do feel that his parents, particularly his mother, would remind him, like, where's your glasses? You got to wear your glasses. And basically he'd put them on to appease her. And then once he was out, it was like he'd rather squint to see things than wear the glasses. I heard him say, he was saying, I wanted contacts for the longest time. Would anybody be able to recognize him? So interesting enough, like he also shows me him carrying a backpack. This one, it just looks like a standard black backpack. He would kind of put it just like on the one shoulder. And as he puts it down, he's like rummaging through it. He like pulls out a baggie and it looks like cut up like carrot and celery sticks. So I just thought that was interesting because you know, more kids around that age, you'd see like for snacks, it would more be like junk food. But I feel that he was like, I don't want to say like health conscious, but he wouldn't snub his nose at eating healthier snacks. Would anybody be able to recognize this young man? Okay. Well, I'm just going to ask him if he has any messages, and I'll just so what I get from him, I thought that was kind of interesting as well, because usually it'd be a message for a parent, but I hear tell grandma I'm okay. He says I made it. I'm not too sure what he means by I made it, whether he made it safely to the other side, but he just wants her to know. He says tell grandma I'm okay. He gives me a quick little picture in my mind of his grandma. She's shorter, a little bit heavy set. Her hair touches her shoulders. It's a lighter, well, not lighter brown, but it's not as dark as his. But if you do come across this, your grandson is letting you know that he is safe. He loves you. Thank you for stepping forward and being brave. And if there's anyone else that would like to step forward. So I do have an older gentleman stepping forward. He has the most kindest eyes. And as he steps forward, I see him patting the young gentleman on the shoulder. And I hear words of encouragement to him. He says, it's okay, kid. It's okay. She'll get the message. This older gentleman, I would have put him maybe in his 70s to, I want to say late 70s, early 80s. He's skinnier build. His hair, it's kind of comes below his ears. It's completely like snow white, the color. He does have a little bit thinning on top, not a much, but it was just starting to go balder. He has a full mustache and beard, but when his mustache, so it comes here, and you know how where mostly the beard starts from here, his is basically it connects to his mustache. So on the sides look clean. um his eyes, when I look at his eyes, they're a very light blue, but almost like a kind of look watery. He was rubbing at his eyes and he says, "Oh, that was something that happened more when he got older." He was saying that his wife used to say maybe it was allergies, and he's letting me know that he spent so much time working outside and just being outside that the thought of him getting allergies at that age, he's going like, no, like it's my age. Or he would like say something like, "Oh, I got dirt in my eye." Um, so he's wearing just a gray t-shirt, but it almost has like that collar to it. Um, he also is wearing jeans, more relaxed fit. When I look down at his shoes, he has these white runners that look like they've been well worn. Um, I feel that for the most part, even in his old age, like he was able to continue doing things that he loved. He's showing me that he did go and enjoy walks a lot. And it's kind of funny because earlier, when I believe it was Samantha asked about pets, so this gentleman did have a couple dogs. One almost looks like a German Shepherd breed, but I feel that it wasn't a pure German Shepherd. And then one, it's a big old dog, and it looks like it reminds me of Beethoven, like a Saint Bernard. So Carrie says it sounds like my uncle Edison. Carrie, would you understand? Did he have dogs? One that looks a lot like a German Shepherd, but I don't feel it was a pure German Shepherd. And then one, it reminds me of Beethoven, like that Saint Bernard dog, like big droopy eyes, and like, and these two dogs would follow him everywhere. And so I'm just going to go back and try to describe him how I see. So he looks to be about, maybe I would put about 5'9". Um, he's saying that he was a little bit taller in his youth, but as he aged, it was like he says everything shrunk. I do get from him that he has like a not only good sense of humor, but almost borderline a little bit. I don't like to say inappropriate sense of humor, but he would like say little things that would be like, did he just say that? So Carrie said he had many dogs throughout his life, many different ones. Okay, so maybe he was showing me those ones as a reference. Like, I just felt from him that like he's an animal lover. Okay, so Carrie says it sounds like my uncle Edison. And Carrie, would you understand his nature? Also, he seems to like to tinker with everything. And I want to say, so how I'm seeing his property, would you understand that he didn't actually live in the city, but it wasn't a farm either? It was more out in the country. And Carrie says, yes, he would make off the wall jokes. So as he's kind of showing me his property, that's how he calls it, his property. I see like a big long driveway. It's just dirt. There's a house. The siding is like a light gray, but I also see like almost it looks like mint color, like around the window sills, like it was painted. And then would you understand him having like his own shed a little ways? And that's where I feel that he did like all his I keep hearing tinkering projects. So Carrie says, yes, he tinkered with things and lived in the country where he grew up. It was just his wife. So he's kind of showing me her. Did she wear glasses? And I want to feel that at times her hair was a lot longer and it's like more of a like a lighter brown color, but as she got older she kind of kept it more like short or like pulled back in a low bun, and her glasses almost were kind of like black framed, and they kind of reminded me of like cat eye glasses. He was just saying that he was saying, oh, she always nagged me. But when he says it, like I can just get this sense of love from him. So Carrie says, yes, long driveway. Okay. Would you understand him saying, how you doing, girl? He just says, it's been a long time. I do feel that I'm drawn to Carrie. So Carrie says, yes, my Aunt Gail wore glasses. Her hair was shorter by the time I met her. And she was more like she kept their house like a home. Where your uncle, he was more wipe his hand, like after he's tinkering with something, whether it had been like an engine or just, I just keep on getting from him like different hobbies. Just, it's like he was Mr. Fix-It, or so he thought. But he was more into like if his hands were like greasy, he would just wipe it on his pants and come into, he says that he would come into the house to like make himself a sandwich, and he was always getting the third degree. Did you wash your hands? Go wash your hands. And from her, I just feel like she was more of like the cleanliness. Would you understand that? So Carrie says, yes. How you doing, girl? I always what he is always what he asked us. The last time I saw him in person was right after my dad died, and that first question he asked me. Was him and your dad brothers? Or at least they had that connection, like they just got along. They got along really well. Would you understand him saying that it's just been like a big family reunion over here? He said that when he got to the other side, he said that, would you understand him that he goes, my socks were just blown off. He said, I haven't seen that guy in years. And he's like, and he doesn't give me a name, but he mentions an aunt. But he says, we got the whole dang family up here, is what he's saying. So Carrie says, my mom's brother, but he was close with her family. Oh, he was just saying, he says that, don't worry. He says, we're all together. He's saying that, did he like to play like card games like poker or crib? So Carrie says, yes, he was messy from his projects and she would be on him about washing hands. He was saying that it was a pain in his butt because he was saying to me, he goes, what does it matter? It's going in my body. I feel like from him, he's just such a character. I just want to go back and say about how when I asked about if he was into playing like card games, like either poker or a crib, he did show me your brother because I remember your brother from earlier and your dad. So he shows me them all sitting around together. I do see another lady there as well. I just have to ask Carrie, is his wife in spirit as well? The lady that I'm seeing looks a lot like her. Oh, Carrie said, and yes, he played cards. Our whole family played them. Well, rest assured, my dear, they're still playing cards and doing the things that they love. He was just saying that he is so proud of you. He says that you're representing your family very well. And would you understand him saying, don't be afraid to go have fun? He's mentioning about you being serious. Carrie says, yes, I imagine the family reunion he's having. He's just, he says, life, he goes, life, it's like when you're young, it just seems, he says, the days seem endless and it seems like you have all the time in the world. But he says, one day you find yourself and it's like you blink and he says 5 years gone by, 10 years gone by. He says, my dear, don't hold back on the things that you want to do in life. Don't hold back on taking that plunge. He says, because there's only so many times you blink before you blink and that was your last blink. He said, I want you to know that we're all fine up here. He shows me him patting your brother on the back. And it's kind of funny because I notice he's a little bit shorter than your brother and your dad, but he pats them both on the back and he just says, don't worry about us. He said, go live your life. He said, worry about you. We got you. We're always around. I just want to thank him for coming through. I hope that you're able to take his message. And Carrie says, yes, he was never serious. He would absolutely want me to go on adventures. And that you have been doing so much with honoring your brother and doing the things that to really step up in your family. And, don't forget to honor yourself. I just want to say thank you for coming here again tonight. Tracy says, what a beautiful, thorough message. Like usual. Great job, Sarah. Thank you, Tracy. Again, I want to thank your uncle, Edison. I like that. I like his name. And just to let everyone know, sometimes I don't often get names. So feel free, if you can recognize your person that I bring through, feel free to tell me their names. I always feel more better if I can address them by their names. So Samantha says, I always think mediums are probably amazing at charades. The way you guys can describe things so clearly. Oh, it's funny because that's how I feel like when I get the messages. It's like sometimes I'll hear and I'll get a thought, and then a lot of times I'll get images and I try to put it all together. But thank you for that, Sam. Okay. So I do have another lady stepping forward. To me, she looks to be like maybe in her 40s. She has longer dark hair. Oh, you're welcome, Carrie. Carrie just said, thank you so much again, Sarah. You're welcome. This lady that is stepping forward, so her hair comes below her shoulders. She's showing me that she would normally just keep it in a low braid. She does wear glasses as well. Hers are actually, they look a lot like mine. So the shape and almost the same color. I feel from her, she has more of a quiet personality. And if you can recognize, she had a habit where it would look like she would either be kind of chewing on her nails or even just putting her nail like this. I think it was more of a nervous tick with her. She's doing that now. And when I brought that up, she's like, oh, and she puts her hands down. So I do feel that this was something that she's done for years. She shows me her wearing just a simple maroon like sweater, and I see her in blue jeans, and the shoes she's wearing, they remind me of like tennis shoes. They're a navy color. She was showing me too that she liked to spend time outside. I see her sitting, it looks like a porch swing, and I see her reading. And then she shows me, she looks to the side and I see like stacks of books. So she was, I wanted to say a bookworm, like she loved reading. I do still get very quiet personality with her. From what I get, is just like she enjoyed the little things in life. I would put her age, as she's showing me, I want to say maybe later 30s, 40s. She looks pretty young still for her age. I was going to say like 20s or 30s, but she was going like this, like as into no, up. I'm just going to see if she can show me anything else that would kind of indicate. So she brings me back to the porch swing because it is on a porch. The swing, it's like almost reminds me of like a couch type. And then you see like well, for those of you who know what a porch swing is, that's how I see this. It's literally on her porch. Her house, it had the white siding, just basic size. It's nothing fancy. She is showing me that as she's sitting there and reading, because she liked to kind of sit with her legs like, so instead of sitting from the front, she would kind of sit sideways so her legs could rest on the swing as well. And as I see her sitting there and reading, I see this big old gray tabby cat come and jumping on her lap. And I just see her reading and like petting this cat. Would anybody be able to recognize her? Interesting enough, she's also showing me another scene. I feel that we're in her kitchen now, and she just has this like little standard microwave, but as I hear the microwave like ding and she like opens it up, I see those like little pizza bagel bites. So I see her taking that and going back again and reading. So I do feel that she, like, that was her pastime, was reading. She's just saying to me that you could go anywhere in a book. you can be anyone. So I do feel that she was a daydreamer as well. Would anybody be able to recognize her?
I don't see anything yet. Just keep going.
Okay. I'm just going to see if she can give me something else here. So she keeps on showing me, and I don't know if she was into cosplay. Oh, so Kristen says, I was fine for a minute. Can you give a description again, please? Okay, not a problem, Kristen. So this lady, I would put her between like maybe later 30s, early 40s. She looks very young for her age, but when I was gonna like mention in her 20s, she kept on like pointing up and indicating like no. She does have longer hair. It's not like a light brown, but not dark brown, kind of in between. It comes below her shoulders, just by her elbows. A lot of times she would wear it in like a loose braid down her back. She was just showing me her in blue jeans, navy blue tennis shoes with like the white around it. She does wear glasses. That her glasses look a lot like mine, the style and the color. I do get like a very quiet personality from her. Okay, so sorry, Dottie said I can't really pronounce it. I'm going to try pronounce your name, Dottie, the first part, and I apologize if I don't pronounce it properly, but it's Tahan. I'm just going to say Dottie. So Dottie says that they can take the glasses, short hair, and the age. Would you understand? So her hair was longer, how she was showing it to me, and she'd put it wear it kind of in a braid. She is wearing just like a maroon color sweater and blue jeans, and then I see her wearing navy blue tennis shoes with like the white around it. From what I'm getting from her is she loved to read. She was showing me her sitting on like a porch swing, and I see her reading, and then when I look over, I see like a big stack of books. I do believe that she might have had a cat or a tabby, like gray tabby cat at some point in her life, because while she was sitting there, I saw this like cat jump on her lap and she was petting it. She was also showing me that I think maybe one of her favorite snacks was those like pizza bagel bites, because she showed me her putting it in I saw her in her kitchen, and then I heard a microwave go off, and when she opened it, she had a plate of those. Would you be able to resonate with that? So I'm just going to ask her if she has any messages that she would like to give. Oh, wait. So Dottie says, yes, she would wear her hair like that and would wear clothes like that. I have seen her read. Can't remember if she has a cat or not. I'll keep listening. Okay. Would you understand, like, her personality was more, I feel like more quiet, shy. Would you understand the term like wallflower? Like, she's pretty, but I just feel that she kind of had that lack of confidence. But when I do kind of hear her voice, it was like more quieter. She was just saying that she was describing like the books, how you could like go anywhere or be anyone. So Dottie says she was very quiet and shy. And would you understand her having like a porch swing? And she was showing me a white house. It wasn't very big, but it had like the white siding on it. And I don't know why she keeps on like drawing me to the roof of the house, but the shingles were like a dark, like almost like a black. I was gonna ask her if she could oh, and another key thing is I feel that this might have been like a more of a nervous tick for her, but would you understand her not so much like biting her nails, but either like putting her hands like this, or because when I mentioned it earlier, because I noticed her kind of standing there and doing that, and then she like right away like put her hands down. Um, so she was just saying that she was saying, I hope I'm not a bother. She's like, I just wanted my loved ones to know that I'm fine. So Dottie says her dad had a porch swing, and yes, the hands in the mouth, because we both do it. Dottie, is this your sister? Or more like you guys were very, very close with each other, that had that sisterly bond? I do feel that I'm more drawn with you. It's like, would you understand her saying that you two went like, you guys, it was like, she goes, I can't even remember. We just seemed to be together always. So Dottie says, I called her my sister. She was my first cousin. Would you understand her saying that you two are like peanut butter and jelly? It's just like you guys were great on your own, but together, um, it was just, she says magical. I never thought that I would hear peanut butter and jelly as magical, but I get it. She just wants you to know that she's okay. She's good. Do you still talk to her sometimes? She does say that she does hear you. Um, and she was mentioning about her signs to you, just like her personality, were a little bit more quiet. But at the same time, when you guys were together, it's like you got to see a different side of her. So Dottie says, yes, we were always together in holidays as she lived further away. Would you understand, like, when you and her together, like, were together, it was like that quiet little, I don't know why, but her like mouse kind of, but not in like a mean way, but just cute, I just get this feeling from her that she's just always so quiet and timid. But when you two were together, it was like you got to see that little bit more. Not even then it wasn't loud, but like more like smiles, and it was like she was able to let loose a bit. So Dottie says, yes, I do, as her birthday is coming up. She, would you understand her? She just quickly, she said that she would love a chocolate cake. And then she was like, she was showing me this, it looks like a fudge cake with like just chocolate. And then Okay, so this is interesting. So she's like showing me chocolate cake, but then she's showing me pies and that. Did she also like to do baking as well? Or just had like a sweet tooth? So Dottie says yes, she was very timid, and when around me, she was more out there. She said that yes, because would you understand her saying that she's saying yes because she didn't really give me a choice. But again, I feel like this is kind of her way of being a little bit humorous. Okay, so Dottie says yes, love chocolate. Okay, well, if you're planning on getting her a birthday cake for her birthday, just give her a big old slice. Okay, yes, love pies and sweetest tooth ever. Okay, that makes sense because I was like confused. I saw this like big old beautiful chocolate cake, and it was like not just any chocolate cake, but the most chocolatey, like fudge and all that. And then she was showing me like pies, and I was like, wait, I was like, that's where I was like confused. But thank you for that validation. Um, she's just wanting you to know that she still does that. She says, I still do the things that I like. Again, she's showing me books. Like, I really feel that books were her escape, her way of, and when I say escape, I'm not meaning that she had to escape from anything in her life. It was just like her way of daydreaming, of going to mystical places where you couldn't. So Dottie says was she's there was this shop at our hometown which we love going to, and she got her pies from there. Okay. She just wants you to know that she's doing good. Don't worry about her. She says that you two will have all the adventures when it's your time. I do feel that her passing was sudden. It was just she says, I know that some of my family have been asking like why that happened, or why did this have to happen? But she goes, sometimes that's just how our life story is written out. She goes, my physical life story, that part of the chapter is done. Oh, I'm so sorry, Dottie. Dottie says yes, she was murdered. She just wants you to know that, as I was saying about, she says that her physical life chapter is done. She goes, yes, it was taken abruptly and cruelly, but she says, I want my family to know that she's still making her chapters in the afterlife. She's still doing the things that she loves. So Dottie says it was here in Australia, and the guy wasn't caught until 7 years later, and it was a big thing here. She's just saying that not only you, but the rest of your family never gave up on that, like finding justice for her. She wants you to know and to tell everyone that she seen all the effort that was put in, and that, you guys never let her story go untold. But she says that I want them to know that I am fine. She goes, I'm not in any pain. She's literally just doing anything that she wants. And she says that for you not to dwell on that bad part, but remember the good parts. Remember, she says, remember the stories that you would tell to each other. And she says, when you think of me, don't think of me with a sadness, but think of me as I was, happy and free. Dottie says, yes, we never stopped as we knew who it was that murdered her. And, you know, I just want to give my heartfelt sorry. Like, it's awful, like, when people think that they have the right to take another's life to end their story. Whether it be for, I could never understand why, because I don't think that there's any rhyme or reason, no matter how much that person might have tried to tell themselves. But just know, Dottie, that he might have took her physical life, but he didn't take her soul. He did not put any bindings on that. She is living free and wild and doing whatever she pleases. And that's her message to you, is for you to continue living your life and know that she's there with you every step of the way.
Absolutely beautiful.
I just want to thank her for stepping forward, and thank you, Dottie, for recognizing her. She is a very lovely woman. So Carrie says, I agree, Sarah. Everything happens for a reason, even the suffering. And, you know, it's just, that's the one thing that we all have to live with. And to grief is, there's no time limit on grief. I always say, never let anyone tell you how to grieve, and you will learn how to navigate it.
Great job, Sarah.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful. Those are always tough. I do forensic mediumship, location and stuff in cases like that. And oftentimes it does take years for justice to be served or for them to be located and things. So I'm thankful that you were able to bring her through very peaceful. That's so beautiful. Good job.
Thank you.
And do we have any other comments? Oh, she just said thank you. So beautiful. Welcome. You did some great readings tonight.
Thank you. I just want to thank everyone for coming tonight. Yeah. Thank you so much.
If you'd like to book with Sarah, you can reach her right down here below. She will not message you at all after this. Neither will I. If somebody messages you first, they are definitely scammers. We will only ask you to book at this site down below. We won't ask you to send PayPal. We won't do anything like that. The real us will never do that, only through Psychic Insights. And when you book with Psychic Insights, you will get a good reading. We show up. You're validated like so well. Your readings tonight were absolutely beautiful. I love the validations. And that's what we like as mediums too, is to tell us, you know, when she brought some beautiful spirits through, and I loved how you were able to just so descriptively describe them. I loved the comment about the charades.
It's true though.
It is, because they're showing us signs and symbols, and we have to figure out what they're trying to say. Like what? Okay, like the golden retriever with the red ball. I love that. I think that's so adorable.
You know, the funny thing is, this poor dog has come through a few of my readings, but I'm hoping that maybe he'll come through yours one of your lives, Mama Cole, because maybe you'll be able to hear him say, hey, this is my person.
And or he might be a symbol. He might be a symbol of joy or something for you. Like he might be symbolizing something.
Right. That's
just ask him. Or maybe he's just waiting for you to hear
him. That's true. I just want to say thank you all again for all your love and support. Samantha says, awesome job, Sarah, and great job moderating, Mama Cole. Yes, thank you. Michelle Harris, nice to meet you both. Nice to meet you, Michelle.
Yeah,
Laura says,
nice jobs.
I just want to say I'm so thankful, and I just I love if you got a reading, if you leave me a review on the page. It's just so validating for me, and it just kind of confirms that what I'm doing is bringing people peace. So thank you. Oh, Sam.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Sam.
So sweet.
Says, book these ladies. They are lifesavers. Oh,
Yeah,
I
lots
just
of
want to
support.
say
And
thank
Carrie
you.
also said, I love both of you. Thank you for doing this. So it's
Thank
what we do.
you.
Like, so thank you. Hope you all have a great night. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you for helping me tonight.
Yes,
And I just
sorry
want
about the glitches starting.
oh, that's okay. Honestly, I would literally be flopping and it wouldn't have happened if it was left up to me. I am not computer savvy
That's
at
not
all.
true. We can all learn. We can always learn. It's not true. I believe in you. Take care, everyone. Have a good night.
Good night. Have a
Take
good
care.
night.
Are you seeking guidance on your spiritual journey? Need help with a vexing problem? Missing a loved one and looking for answers? Look no further than Psychic Insights, a small trusted psychic service offering mediums, psychics, and spiritual coaching. This service is managed by Hollis Taylor, a gifted psychic medium, astrologer, and a compassionate coach. We are dedicated to helping you navigate your spiritual awakening. At Psychic Insights, we provide medium readings and psychic insight to help you plan for tomorrow and make choices for today. Find the support you need, compassionate grief coaching, and astrological insights to help you spiritually grow and transform. Our professional services include well-managed schedules, recorded sessions, and reliable psychic mediums ready to facilitate your transformational experience. Discover more at psychicinsights.life.